Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. Tonight we are reviewing Married to Medicine episode 2. Honey, I think this season 8, child. We're just gonna go with season 8, okay? Because Sunday nights are wearing me out. I'm trying to prioritize which one of these shows is most important and put them out in the order in which they were received, honey. And I always put out Atlanta Housewives first and then Married to Medicine. But soon, Married to Medicine will be the only show on that's on Sunday night. So that will make it a lot easier for me because I don't want you guys to have to wait. Now, let's get into it, honey, without further ado. Okay, here we go. So y'all know that it picks up where it left off because Toya was acting a fool, honey, after she was still hungry when she was eating out of that crab Easter basket. Wasn't no butter or nothing, and she was still starving, okay? So she hears Simone and Heavenly being fake, and she didn't like it. So she started piping up, honey, speaking her speech, and they didn't want to hear it. So Toya gets up after asking for a cupcake, honey, because she's still hungry. Child, and Dr. Damon making them wear the mask, so she can't really eat how she want to eat, honey. So Toya gets up and leaves Anila sitting right there, who she brought. I'm like, what? Simone was like, Toya got up and left Anila with us and she looked shell-shocked. No, she looked drunk, just like Toya. She didn't look no shell-shocked. She looked drunk, honey. So Toya goes over and she starts venting and hollering all out, they're fake. And you fake because you won't make up with him. And she fake because she won't make up. Child, I know Eugene be so embarrassed. I mean, he gotta be. So Curtis was like, you're coming over here bringing this stuff to the men when you're mad about something totally different that has nothing to do with us. Eugene is like, we're going to just go walk. Come on, honey, let's go walk. I'm like, ugh, you got to babysit Toya every time y'all go somewhere, child? They used to call her Tacky Toya, and I didn't really like that name because I thought Toya was cool. But honey, Tacky Toya it is, okay? So they go walking, and Eugene was like, you should have ate something. Toya walking like Weekend at Bernie's, tipping all over to my... I ate some of the crabs in a bucket, girl. Oh my goodness. Toya, honey, oh my goodness. Y'all should have put some Easter egg candy in there if y'all was just gonna put them dry crabs in there. Toya's still hungry, child. So Simone, this is just ridiculous. So Simone and Heavenly are still sitting over there. So Heavenly was like, I was just about to apologize, but I'm not about to do it again. So Simone said, well, you know what? I should have picked up the phone. I should have picked up the phone and I should have called you and let you know how I felt. So Heavenly said, you know what? There's an elephant in the room. You and Jackie have not been talking like y'all used to. And Simone was like, that's true. So then Simone says when she was in New York, she felt like when Dr. Jackie said that Heavenly's relationship and Jackie's was equal to hers and Jackie's, she didn't appreciate that. And you know what? At first I was like, girl, that's so childish, honey. It doesn't matter. Y'all can all be friends. Y'all too old for that. But then I thought about it. If I come over here and I'm friends with you for 25 plus years, and then you get a friend and y'all friends for 1 year, and the heifer didn't even really like you at first, and then we all get together and you say, I love y'all equally. Nope. No, ma'am, Pam. You're not gonna love us equally. You're gonna love us unequally, honey. Right now, it's an unequal playing field. I've been in 25 years in the game. I don't feel like I should be equal to Heavenly. And another reason why I know Simone is upset is because Dr. Jackie is sitting here saying that she didn't have her back when Dr. Jackie, you were wrong. Honey, you can sit there with your legs all crossed and try not to say cuss words because she gonna say, well, what I'm mad about is the fact that you didn't have my back when it came to Buffy. And so she was like, you know, we've been through a lot of shiggity. What the hell is shiggity? Dr. Jackie, I don't care how you try to mince these words, honey. You done been through a lot of okay? And the fact of the matter is that you were wrong and you wanted her to back your wrong. But Dr. Simone did say, I was telling Buffy that was not your heart. That's not who you are. I had your back. I was telling her that you did not mean it in that way. But clearly you don't know who I am and you don't know my heart. So Simone gets up and she cries and she walks away. And so Contessa was like, you know, I just hope that they can both let this go. Both of them are being stubborn. Both of them don't want to give. I just hope that they can just get past it. While she's over there crying, here comes Anila. Child, I don't know. It's just something about her that rubs me the wrong way. I'm just not all in. Maybe she'll grow on me a little later, but for now, she's annoying me. Her, Toya, all the crying, the pandemic going on, and it's just getting on my nerves. So Anila comes over and she gives her a hug, and Simone's like, "You so sweet." Then Cecil goes over to see what's wrong with Simone because he already know if he don't get up and come see what's wrong with her, he gonna have to hit it when he get home. And Simone be talking loud and them teeth be protruding out the front. Honey, Simone is not to be played with when she gets upset. Okay? So Cecil comes over and he's like, "You okay?" She was like, "It was 3 against 1. What do you think?" I'm like, see? See? This is exactly what I knew was gonna happen. So then she's like, "Let me just go say goodbye." Where's Toya? Honey, they done sanctioned Toya off to the bus, honey. She's been sanctioned like Miss Wanda over at Love and Marriage Huntsville, child. So she's like, "Let me go tell Heavenly goodbye." So she goes over there and she was like, "We're about to go, but I just want you to know it's not your fault about Dr. Jackie." So she was like, "That didn't go well." And so Heavenly said, "I feel like it went well for me and you." Now Heavenly still talking calm now because we just never know what we're about to get. So Heavenly still speaking to her calmly. And so Simone said, "Well, I just want you to know when you did that, you went to the gutter." Child, what she say gutter for, honey? All of a sudden, Heavenly gets to losing her mind. And you know she always sound like she's so hoarse, honey. She's like, "He came at me. He said something to me. You don't think I have a right to say something back? If the mother could say something to me, you don't think I have a right to say?" I'm like, oh my gosh, child. Oh, honey, Heavenly flipped that switch so quick. So she was like, "You don't say nothing to me." So then Simone was like, "Well, you came to him, and if you want to say something about my husband, I can say something about Dr. Damon." She was like, "Bring it out then, bitch. Bring out the receipts." I'm like, oh my God. Please leave Heavenly alone. Heavenly, if you are listening to this, honey, you got to stop flipping so quick. That's why the people out here in TV land is saying they don't really care for you. Because it's like you be doing so good for just a minute. And the next thing you know, you be like, your mama. Like, you can't do that. You can't continue. This is 8 seasons in, girl. Cut that out. So Simone and her arguing, Heavenly getting real hype, honey. She falling all over people trying to get in Simone's face. And so then Dr. Damon comes in to save the day because you know he's the rational person of the relationship. And he's like, "Calm down. Stop it. Black people are already under attack. We don't need to be attacking each other." I'm like, yes, honey. Let me tell y'all something. I don't want Sierra's prayer. I don't want a Russell, honey. I want an educated man that's going to hold me down and put me in my place. Please give me a Dr. Damon prayer, honey. Not Heavenly. I ain't trying to get cussed out because I know how you feel about daddy, honey. I'm not trying to be with your man. I'm just saying, please send me an educated, smart man that knows right from wrong and that is willing to check me if need be. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's move forward. Honey, Sierra, you can keep that prayer, child, because I don't really know what Russell doing behind closed doors, but I done seen Dr. Damon in action, okay? So once they get on the bus, Toya sees that Simone is crying. She was like, "You crying? What's wrong? Do I need to go fight a bitch?" Toya, get your short set and sit the hell down, honey. Ain't nobody worried about you. You can barely stand up, child. Anyway, so Simone was like, "Well, she got in my face." Here go Anila piping up, speaking her speech. "Yeah, I had to hold her back." Girl, hush. Anyway, child, here go Toya. "I told y'all it was time to go." Oh my goodness. Child, I'm so happy this scene over. These heifers crazy. So after that, we see Toya sitting down with her son. She drives up in her golf cart. I guess she been playing tennis or whatever it is that the rich Caucasian women do during the day, honey. Anyway, she gets home and her sons are sitting down doing their schoolwork. So she sits down with them, and then we see her in the confessional and she's saying how her sons miss school. I'm sure they do miss school, because all you do all day is travel and talk about money and talk about how you want to be in Italy. You probably getting on their nerves. They're willing to risk it all to get away from you just for a while. So she was like, "I told them they had to wear masks, but they were like, 'We don't care, Mom. We want to go to school.'" I'm like, sure. Because, honey, you seem like the type of parent that was like, "Open the schools. The kids need to be in the schools. I am not a babysitter. The kids need to be in the schools." Toya, that seems like you, honey. So I'm just saying, you trying to act like it's the kids' child. I don't buy it. So anyway, they're sitting down and she's telling us that they will be starting a new school soon because the Christian school down the street that they went to didn't have any kids that they could relate to, i.e. our skin color, honey. They didn't have any melanin to look up to. When things were going on in the streets, there was nobody for them to relate to. And the school didn't feel the need to teach them about Black history because there weren't enough Black people to talk to. So she decided that she was going to put them in another school. And so, she's talking to them about it. And she's like, do y'all know how much this school costs? And they were like, how much? She was like, $25,000. And don't waste my money. How they going to waste your money in a school, Toya? Kids can't waste your money, honey. Either they're being taught or they're not. Girl, you say anything. Girl, you are so shallow and dumb. I'm really getting, and I don't really want to use the word dumb. I'm trying to refrain from calling people names. I don't want to be that person. But this is just getting ignorant, honey. I'm just going to say that's pure ignorance. And then she said, well, because I could be buying me a Gucci bag. And then her son was like, a Gucci bag you don't need because you already got some. And she's like, stay out of my closet. Toya, listen. I am so happy that you are well off. I am so happy that you made it. I am so happy that you married a doctor. Honey, I'm so happy for that. But I don't want your money being thrown in my face every single time I watch you in a scene. You have coins, honey. You done rubbed two pennies together. You guys are now not in debt. You no longer owe the IRS $1.5 million. We got it. Quad doesn't have to bring y'all over Top Ramen anymore. You've made it. Congratulations. But this shallow mess is getting on my nerves. I don't want this to carry on throughout the season, because I ain't going to be able to tolerate you much longer, honey. So then we see Dr. Contessa and Scott. They're on their way to visit their new practice, maskless, okay? So they're running, so she's running to it and he's driving to it. And so they meet up. And so they go inside, the contractor's there. And Dr. Contessa was like, we'll stay 6 feet back. Honey, 6 feet ain't enough. Because when people speak, things project out of their mouths, honey. Projectile all the way over to the other side. Honey, I would have had to step outside, child. They get kind of careless. So they're going through the practice, looking all around. And so she was like, you ready? And then Dr. Scott was like, are you sure you ready? And he said, well, we got to work on us. Baby, Scott been unhappy the last 2 seasons. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but he just seems so unhappy. It's like the spark that I saw in them when they first stepped on the scene as a couple is no more. It's something ain't right about that Dr. Scott. It's something not right about his little square head behind, honey. And I'm watching you, Dr. Scott. So then Contessa was like, well, I'm in and I'm ready. I'm willing to do the work. Do you want to do the work? And he's like, it's got to be done. She was like, yeah, I know it's got to be done, but we're going to be working together, living together, sleeping together. He's like, well, we worked together before. Contessa, keep an eye on Scott, honey. That's all I'm going to say, child. She seem all in, but he don't seem like he really is willing to work that hard. I'm just saying. So then we go over to Dr. Heavenly, and she was inside her practice, and she's telling us how she was closed for 2 months, but they reopened with the state's guidance. Okay, so honey, Dineva made his appearance. Yes, sir. The YouTube godfather himself made an appearance on Married to Medicine, honey. So she tells us that her and Dineva met at this event, and that people get offended by what he says and they get offended by what she says, so they make a good team, honey, and that's why they are now friends. Let me tell you something. People do get offended by what I say, but I'm trying to reel it in. You know what I'm saying? Because I really don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I just want us all to get along. I know it ain't always gonna work out like that way, but that's what I'm trying to achieve. But honey, I got a little Dineva and Heavenly in me too, okay? Don't let this channel fool y'all, okay? So after that, we see her putting a little missing tooth on the side of Dineva so he can have that ting, picture perfect smile, okay? After they do that, they kiki a little bit, and then he lets her know, honey, I'm in town. Whatever you want to do, let's hang out. And then that's the end of that scene. So then we go to Anila's house, and they're getting ready for dinner. This is our first time being introduced to her in her space. Her being introduced to us in her space. So her husband gets home, honey, sprays himself down with Lysol like it's Bath and Body Works body spray, honey. I'm like, I know that's right, child. And don't forget your hair, honey. Spray yourself all the way down because, baby, COVID is losing its mind. So she's in the house and she says that they met 6 years ago and he's a plastic surgeon. I'm like, okay, for the getting the work done for the free, honey. I'm all for it, child. So she said, I'm not just a doctor's wife. I was living it up in New York. I was having my dream job. If y'all ever seen The Devil Wears Prada, that's me, but a nicer version. I'm like, okay, girl, I don't want nothing with the word devil in it, but set yourself off, child. She said she started the blog so that she could stay home with her kids. Once she started having children, she wanted to be at home. And I can understand because that's partially the reason why I started this YouTube channel, because I want to be home for my son. And then we're in the middle of this pandemic and he's been virtual schooling and it's allowed me a lot of freedom. not really making money like that now, honey, but I soon hope to be popping with the help of all of you. So, honey, please share, like, subscribe, share this video with a friend, honey. Let me put this little shameless plug in here right now. Make sure y'all subscribe as y'all listen, honey. Hit that bell for me. So she said she wants to stay home with her family. He comes in and he's talking about things that are going on, and he's talking about COVID. Now, this definitely let me know that she's Toya's friend. As he's talking about COVID, she's more worried about the home she's building. She's like, can you make up the last 2 months, like right now? Toya is so blessed because she has her home finished. And now we don't even have our home finished. And I'm just so upset about our home being finished. Girl, shut up. Like, you know what really makes me mad? Is the fact that I see these. Now, don't get me wrong. Married to Medicine brings the success. Okay, we see the successful men and or women. But at the same time, this is the only show that throws their wealth around the way that they do. Namely Toya. Because when this lady sat here and said that, and I'm thinking to myself how I was furloughed when COVID first began. I didn't know how I was going to feed my son. I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. And you're upset because your home is not being built fast enough. Damn the contractors and their families and their health. You want your home right now when you're already in a home that could fit. You know, my whole place could fit inside one of your closets, and you're worried and concerned because Toya's home got finished before yours. You're an idiot, honey. You get nothing else from me tonight. Let's move forward. Simone is throwing a graduation party for her son. So she tells her son, you know, that he has to focus. She's very proud of him. And I cannot believe that he's already graduating high school. Child, I just can't believe it. So, you know, of course, Simone and her son have the most beautiful relationship. I just love it. And the fact that they're doing confessionals together, I was like, yes, I love it. I just love it, child. I love it. I love their whole family unit. The two sons, Cecil, Simone. I love it, honey. I love their family. And I love Dr. Heavenly's family. They got some family units on here. That's another thing about Married to Medicine. They show us the family aspect. They don't have to always be focused on just drama amongst themselves. Because I had somebody comment down in my comment section and say, we don't watch Real Housewives of Atlanta to see their families. Well, honey, let me take you back. Because when Real Housewives of Atlanta was organic, as Nene would say, they were showing their families, honey. They were showing Kim Zolciak's kids. They were showing Bryson. They were showing Riley. So they were showing Noel. What are you talking about, honey? You must not have been an avid watcher, honey. You must have just came in when Portia got there, honey. I've been there since season 1 when people were being tardy for the party, honey. Girl, gone. Child. Whoever that was, honey, I ain't got time for that. But anyway, I love the fact that they show their families on this show. They started talking about school. Cecil said, well, you know, you worked as a bartender. And so Simone was like, yes, and? So Cecil said he was rolling up in a Honda and she was rolling in, I think he said a Bentley or a Benz or something like that. So they have a little laugh at that. And then they talk about the fact they're having a tailgate party for his graduation party, and they just couldn't believe it. Dr. Eugene comes by touching and stuff. Honey, stop touching them. We are in the middle of a pandemic, boy. Don't touch them. Honey, then Anila shows up with her family. So Simone was like, when she was at the party, that Anila had her back, and so she really likes that. They over there kissing on the cheek and stuff. I'm like, too much touching, child. Honey, oh my goodness, child, it's just too much. Dr. Eugene got his lunch and left, honey. I seen him going with his styrofoam plates on the way out, child. I just came for the food. Dr. Eugene said, I just came for the food, honey. I need to put this in the break room, honey. I'm pulling an all-nighter. I know that's right, Eugene. Get your food, give your congratulations, drop your card with the $100 bill in it, and go ahead on, honey. So then his brother gives a speech and lets him know, you know, that he really cares about him. He loves him as a brother. They are so opposite. He's more introverted and their other son is more extroverted. He has more of an outgoing personality. Toya says she wishes that Simone had invited Jackie. I wish she would have too. And then after 23 years of friendship, you don't invite Jackie. I don't care what y'all went through. She delivered him. That was the first person. I remember that season when she told him, I was the first person to hold you. Like, oh, I know that was so hurtful. Then we go over and we see Dr. Jackie, and she's sitting with Curtis, and she gets home from work and he's making her some chicken. And she's like, ooh, seeing you cooking that air fry is turning me on. I'm like, see, that's why he cheated right there. You saying stuff like that, honey. Him cooking in an air fryer is turning you on. Girl, go ahead on, child. Anyway, Child, child, okay. So then she's talking to him about the fact that she's upset that she didn't get invited to the graduation. And she also brought up the point that she is the one who delivered him. And so the fact that she is not at his graduation, it just kills her. And she starts to talk about her and Simone's friendship. Yet again, I wish y'all would just make up. This is silly. She didn't have your back because you were wrong, Dr. Jackie. And Simone, she has to make other friends outside of you. It doesn't mean that you're less important. God. So now Simone go over and visit Heavenly. She brings up some wine and she's like, either you can hit me over the head with it or you can drink it. Take your pick, honey. Pick your poison. They go outside. They start to talk. They make up and then they're talking about the situation. And, Dr. Heavenly was like, well, I'm not going to do it again. But y'all know Heavenly, I always say that. And she even said herself, she said, you know what? I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. And I think that would be best, Heavenly, because every time you get to saying you gonna do something and then you flip the switch, then you got to go back and apologize again. So just show them, honey, because if you be quiet, you can say, I ain't never say that. That's how you play it in case you mess up. Because we know you gonna yell at your mama and you gonna call him a bitch when you get mad. We know you gonna do that. So just play it how you playing it. After they make up, they get up and they see these dogs over there. I don't know if the dog ate a squirrel or a hamster or it was something like that, but it was quite disgusting. And they were like, okay, she was like, Simone, you got to get on out, honey. Now you got the canines eating other animals, child. You got to go. And that was the end of the episode. This episode was cute. It's starting to pick up. I'm so excited when I saw the previews for what's to come in the season. I think it's going to be a really, really good season. Married to Medicine always delivers. So I am hyped about Real Housewives of Atlanta ending and this beginning because I am here for it. Let's get into it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching, rocking with me each and every review. For those of you who always watch my reviews, I love you. Thank you so much. You do not have to do that, but every time a video uploads, it is the same people always commenting down below, always ready to watch my reviews. Y'all make me so happy. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.